Konnichiwa, Webhead. Honjitsu Herostime kara Nihon no Spider-Man costume o open shimasu. Gomenasai. Chotto mate. Sorry about that, guys. I had my Spider-Man wrist computer set to Japanese. As I was saying, today we're going to be trying on a Herostime Japanese Toei Spider-Man costume. The sequel to Into the Spider-Verse is coming out soon, and there's heavy rumors that it's going to feature SUPAIDAMAN, Toei's Japanese Spider-Man from 1978. So I have a feeling that this incarnation of Spider-Man is about to get very popular. So if you haven't seen the Toei Japanese Spider-Man show from the 1970s, do yourselves a favor and check it out, because it is bat guano cray cray in the best possible way. Trust me. Akete mio! Spider-Man! The Spider-Man suit in my first video was from printcostume.com, aka Zentai Zone. If you want to watch that video, I will link that above. This is the first suit that I've ordered from Herostime. Ooh, pretty colors. That is very red. Oh, I love Herostime's bag. It's very cool. Once again, I entered my custom measurements, which was, I believe, free to do on Herostime. And I will say this for Herostime, this costume came very quickly. Now, part of the reason for that, it might be because I did not have it puffy painted. I did not choose the puffy painting because the Japanese Spider-Man does not have a puffy painted suit. He just has, web printed lines. Very rudimentary suit. And the Japanese Spider-Man suit is the same suit that Nicholas Hammond wore in the American Spider-Man television series from the 1970s. Not the exact same suit, but it is what is known as the Eves Brooks Spider-Man suit. And it was the basic Spider-Man suit used in those two shows and most of the public appearances of Spider-Man in the 1970s and even into the 1980s. So this suit is modeled after that Eves Brooks suit. And the first impression I have right off the bat is how incredibly shiny this is. Let me unzip the neck zipper here. And I never order them with eye holes because I like to put the eye holes in myself. These companies tend to cut the eye holes a little too large. As you can probably see from my t-shirt, the Japanese Spider-Man eyes are very small. Small, narrow eyes. And so if I had them cut the eye holes, I think that they may have cut them too large and I wouldn't have been able to put my lenses on there. They don't sell Spider-Man lenses that look like the Japanese Spider-Man lenses. So I did make a pair out of some crafting foam and some other things that I'm going to attempt to attach to these before I try it on. That's the 1970s Spider-Man symbol right there. All right, so again, there's the mask and there's the suit. I got it with gloves attached. I didn't get forearm zips. Back logo, very cool. Has the nice pointy-legged spider. It is dye sub because it's white on the inside. This fabric is gorgeous. It's not as stretchy, but it's really thick. But yeah, it's a really beautiful deep red. Beautiful, like royal blue. It's catching the light beautifully. I got the feet attached. No ankle zips on this one, and I did not get it with kung fu shoes or soles. And the reason I didn't do that was twofold. The first reason is on the show, he mostly is wearing the socks. Like, he doesn't have solid shoes in the show. Unless he's outside doing stunts, and when it's an outside stunt scene, there's these white pads on the ball and the heel of his foot. What I am going to do, I did buy some cheap kung fu flats, canvas flats. I'm gonna put those inside of here, and then I'll probably make some kind of a rudimentary sole for these out of like leather or something really basic and flat with a low profile so that I can run around outside and do some jumping around without damaging or tearing holes through that. Anyways, that's the suit. Pretty friggin' nice. All right, enough chatter. Let's go try this sucker on. Sugoku kara no shisha. Spider-Man. Kidding, it's just me. All right, well, there's the costume. I love this suit. So, full disclosure, for whatever dumb reason, I filmed all of that chronologically, so that whole montage that you guys just watched, I filmed that after I put on the suit, instead of showcasing it first and then kind of going and filming that later and adding that as B-roll. I did it chronologically, so I don't know why, but I did. So, but the good thing about that is I got to actually test out the suit, and this thing has stood up to some abuse. I've zipped and unzipped these U-zippers and the zipper on the hood 100 times at least in the last 5 days, and they've held up with no problems. Like, the zippers are really, really well made and really, really strong. I have gotten a bit of staining on the hands. I've been doing a lot of action in these, so that's just something that's gonna happen. They've gotten a little dirty. This one's a little worse because I bought a Pokeball the other day, and my kids didn't tell me that they put their garbage in the bag where my food was. So I reached in to grab my Pokeball and ended up pulling out a Spider-Man hand full of teriyaki sauce. So those dark stains you see there, yeah, it still smells like teriyaki sauce. It doesn't affect the suit much. There's a little fraying going on, but that's to be expected when you have a action-oriented suit that you're doing stunts and jumping around in, right? So the other thing that took so long in me finally getting in front of the camera in this thing is I wanted to present it in a high-quality way. So I made a face shell from scratch using gauze bandage and magnets and paper clay and some extra spandex and brads and foam and other things I had laying around. That took me about 3 or 4 days to make. I did have to attach the lenses onto the suit, and because they are such narrow lenses for the Japanese Spider-Man. Oh, come on now. Oh my goodness, where's the frickin'... Holy shit. Dude. Since the Japanese Spider-Man lenses are so very narrow, there really was no way to do this without gluing the lenses onto the mask. And it was a bit of a process because when I first did it, I did it with white speaker mesh and some glittery cloth mesh, because on the show he's got that kind of gold glittery looking stuff on his eye lenses. But because I had 2 layers of material on there, I couldn't see through it. So I ended up cutting the mesh off, which ripped off the paint on the speaker mesh and destroyed everything I had done. Then I had to kind of cut out the original material and replace it with more mesh. But then I ran out of white spray paint.
Everything happens to me.
So I had to spray the outside of the mesh with silver paint, which in some of the promotional material pictures, the lenses look silver. So I'm not 100% happy with that result, but it does look pretty cool that they're silver, I guess, and they're still narrow and have that Japanese Spider-Man vibe, so we'll roll with it. At some point I might end up getting another Japanese Spider-Man costume and do the lenses properly, but it's on there now, and it is what it is, but I don't know. How do you guys think it looks? Leave a comment below and tell me, do you think those lenses look okay? So between the lenses and the homemade face shell and all of that, it took a little while for me to finally get back into the suit to show you guys. I'll take a step back so you can see it better. It's an amazing suit. So again, I got it with the hood attached. On the show, I do believe that the hood is attached. I think you only see him in his costume with the mask off once that I know of, and I think it's at the, no spoilers, but I think it's at the very end of the series. There's a scene where he demasks, and the mask hangs like this, so that's accurate. And I did go with the gloves attached, because I didn't really want the zippers hanging from the wrists on this costume. I didn't want that look, so I went with them attached, which was cheaper to have them attached and not have zippers here. That is a little bit of a hassle when you want to do something like eat a teriyaki chicken bowl or a poke bowl, because you do end up getting teriyaki sauce on your hands, but that one's on me. And I did make this wrist computer. You guys saw that in the opener. I just made that from like a Hershey's cocoa tin and some EVA foam, silver paint, yellow tape, and some other various materials. It's not 100% screen accurate, but I needed something quick. but we're talking about the suit. So my thoughts. Love the material, love the color, love the shine, love the web pattern, love the cool 1970s hands, love the cool 1970s spider logo on the front and the back. I was gonna gripe a little bit about some of the web lines not lining up on the mask and stuff, but then I looked at this and this. And I quickly realized that the web lines on the mask on the show are like super jank. I don't know if the producer's 5-year-old niece painted those on. I don't know if the wardrobe team dropped acid before drawing some of these web lines, but these web lines on the mask are a friggin' mess. It's a low budget show, and honest to God, the suit changes from scene to scene. I can only imagine they needed like a gazillion different suits for all of the stunt scenes and action that was to be filmed, because the suit had to have taken a lot of abuse on the show. So I'm certain they probably had like a hero suit, and then for all of the scenes where he's jumping around and doing the poses and everything, I'm certain that they probably had a lot of different stunt suits. In fact, from scene to scene, you can really tell that there are different suits. Sometimes the suit is a little baggier, sometimes the suit is a little tighter, sometimes the eyes look different, sometimes they're kind of cockeyed, sometimes they're more straight, sometimes they look drawn on, sometimes they look glued on. Long story short, what I'm getting at is the web lines, they really don't matter that much on Japanese Spider-Man. If you're talking about screen accuracy, because it changes from episode to episode and from scene to scene, who cares? You know, you have permission to have the lines not match up perfectly, because it still looks better than anything on any episode of that show. But that's part of its charm as well. So again, highly recommend watching the Toei Spider-Man from 1978. It has 2 seasons and it's absolutely batshit crazy incredible. Watch it if you get the chance. But anyway, there really isn't much else to say about this suit. It's amazing. I love that I ordered it all in one piece. I love that everything's attached and I can just put the hood over my head like that, you know? So, and then it zips up in the back. It zips down like that, right at the neck. And it just comes right off. If you have a chance to get a Spider-Man costume from Herostime, I would absolutely recommend doing that. It's a high quality garment and it's gonna last a while, I think. I don't know what my future plans are. I know I'm gonna be doing some more Spider-Man videos. I would like to do Spider-Man Noir, and I would still like a screen accurate Peter Parker Spider-Man suit for my Peter B. Parker cosplay. If you guys have any ideas about what other Spider-Man costumes you would like to see me review and try on and unbox, let me know. I'm not gonna do Tom Holland No Way Home Spider-Man, so don't even ask. I mean, you can ask, but I'm not gonna do it. I have nothing against the Tom Holland Spider-Man. I like the Tom Holland Spider-Man. I like the Tom Holland movies, but it's not my favorite Spider-Man. And I don't know, I just feel like everyone on the planet is doing that right now, and I don't really feel like I have anything to add to that situation. So, but I do want to do Spider-Man Noir very soon, so if you'd like to see that, let me know. But again, if you want to see something different that I haven't thought of yet, drop a comment down below. As always, guys, thanks for checking out my channel. If you like the kind of stuff that I'm doing here and all this amazing Spider-Man content, consider subscribing. Flip that like button. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a Toei-rific day. See what I did there? Because the company that made Japanese Spider-Man, it's called Toei, like Toei, terrific, Toei-rific. It's kind of a play on word, pun, kind of a, you know what? I've over-explained it, now it's not funny anymore. I ruin everything. I ruin everything. Spider Scream!